Hey guys, this is Steven, also known as iSlick, from bringing a review to Fantastic Four number 10, written by James Robinson and art by Mark Lamming. Now, as for the story of this issue goes, as Thing is in jail, he talks to Sharon, also known as She-Thing, to find the whereabouts to where she's been. And Johnny is out partying to keep himself together. Reed is struggling to fight for four all by himself, and Sue is going out there to look for her children. And now I'm gonna talk about what I didn't like and what I did like about this issue. Now, as for the things I did like about this issue, there really isn't much I did like about this issue. So get ready for a lot of ranting and maybe some not so good things to hear about this issue. So I hope you can bear with me as I not tell so many good things about it. Um, the good things I did like about it is probably I don't know. I guess it's kind of nice to find out where Sharon has been all this time with her absence, and I kind of like that the plot is moving forward, and there's a surprise guest by the end of the issue. That's really much all I can say about how much I like. For what I didn't like in this issue, oh boy, there is a lot I did not like about this issue. It's just there's some really bad storytelling, and many of the characters do not give logical reasons to feel the way that they feel. Like for example, with Sharon, she just automatically gets mad at Thing for never being there for her. But I just can't understand why she would be mad for Thing to be there for her when she never contacts him when she has her problems with her life. She just automatically expects Thing to just magically know and just to all of a sudden go over there and solve her problems. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't know how we're supposed to feel sympathy for someone who never reaches out to, for that certain person to come back into her life and, be there for her and help her solve her problems. And I don't know. I guess maybe I'm starting to think James Robinson had a tough time, to think of a reason for her absence because She-Thing is a character who hasn't been around for a while. It's like she's a character that's been in comic book limbo for years. And I'm assuming Robson couldn't find a good reason for her to be gone, and this is what he came up with, and it just wasn't that good. And another thing that kept bothering me through this issue is the dragging. Like it took so long for the story just to get done. It's just like I don't know. For some reason, She-Thing was hitting Thing as she's telling the story, and I don't know why she was hitting him. It's just like, what was the point of the action? They just threw it on there just to fill up the story. When I felt like they could have just focused on explaining the whole entire backstory and have no action at all. The action was just unnecessary. It's just something that didn't need to be in there. I really didn't understand that. And they don't even explain how Sharon gets to jail. She's just there. They do say that she was in like some type of wrestling that was putting some drugs in her to fight other, bad guys or whatever, other people who works in this wrestling federation. And somehow she was just fighting one person. The next thing she ends up in jail. So they don't even they don't give a very logical reason how did she get in jail and why is she even there. Like there is not a very good concise logical reasoning. for Reed. I don't know. It just seems like he's just out there fighting the fight for four, and it's a bunch of D-listers, and he's struggling without, I don't know, without much thought. He's not using his tech, or he's just not using his intelligence. And for the reasoning that he can't win is because magic. But we don't know where that magic is coming from. We don't know why these guys have magic. He just says, "Oh, I can't defeat them because of magic." And I'm like, why is this? Where did the wizard and the other members of Fight for Four were getting this magic? It just wasn't explained there, and I kind of want that to get in there. It's just, and I just didn't give a good reason, and he also couldn't fight, like he couldn't think right because Sue wasn't there, which is, I don't know, it's kind of pointless because Sue isn't always around for him to think logically. So to think, how can I defeat these guys? I mean, she's not always there when he's in the Illuminati, so I don't understand why would he need her to fight villains that he can just beat up with, with just a thought. It's not some very powerful villains. Maybe Wizard's overpowering, but the others, I'm not so sure. Um, I think maybe if they explain how Wizard had this strong magic, maybe we can maybe think like, oh, maybe that's why Wizard could defeat Bree Richards and the other girls as well. Maybe that's why they're so strong. But they didn't give a reasoning. It's just for some reason Reed is defenseless. And there's another situation like with Johnny. He's out there partying, and his college friend Watt is going out there and being concerned. Like, Johnny, I'm worried about you. What's going on? And he says that, oh, what are you doing here? Why are you feeling concerned about me? Did Reed and Sue tell you to come here? And he says, no, they didn't tell me to come here. But it's like, oh, yes, they did. And for some reason, it seems like Johnny forgot that Watt is a longtime best friend, and that is not for some reason that's not enough a logical reason for him to be worried about him. It's just he just doesn't. It's just how somehow he forgot everything. So it just seems like the Fantastic Four are just stuck on stupid and don't know what to do at the situations they can solve with no struggle. And for some reason they just feel struggle. It's just something they can do on a normal day basis. For some reason they just can't do it. Another bad thing is the art. It just had really bad trouble with the, I don't know, it just had really bad trouble with the fake expressions. They're very static and they all look the same. You couldn't really tell the characters were mad, sad, or even when they're yelling. It's just like you don't see no eyebrows on their faces rising up. You don't see anything. It's just static. And their mouths don't look like they're really moving. They just stay in the same position over and over. And with the action, it's very unorganized and sloppy. It's just one hit across the page, and the next thing you know, the characters are just on the floor. So the action is not very well detailed. It's not expansive. It's just one hit. That's it. You're on the floor. So it seems like the replacement artist in this issue was just trying to rush to get it done, and it's nowhere near as good as the previous artist. So it just really disappoints me just to see that. As for the theme of this issue, I came up with someone to lean on. So when people are going through their problems and things just get too rough, they usually depend on someone to support them and bring their spirits back up. But there's are times when the friends are not there, or they feel like their friends are stuck up into their own problems, they can get that support to solve their own problems. So they go through a deeper rift and start losing themselves and make the problems even bigger and harder to solve. This is what I saw with the Fantastic Four. They all dealing with this. Excuse me, sorry. But when things get rough, they start to, try to look and see on the side, but nothing's there. And for one good example is that Johnny feels like he's useless without his powers. And when his powers are not there for him to get through what he needs to get through, he feels like he's wasting his time being around his friends. So he just doesn't be there for them anyway. Now, for what I give this issue, I give it a 2 out of 5 stars or 4 out of 10. It just wasn't a really good issue. And there's a very lot of unexplained logical reasoning in the characters. It's just not as compelling or emotional storytelling as the previous issue, and the art doesn't do a good job of that either. So, I don't know. I guess this issue is really up to you. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's worth a pickup if you're, low on money on picking up comics. So, it's disappointing that this series is usually good, and for some reason, it's just not getting there this week. It's just, I guess they had a time constraint and things got rushed. So it's really up to you to pick up this issue. If you really want to know what's going on, I guess that's worth for you to pick it up. So I'll talk to you guys and see you then. Oh, and that's about it. And also, if you want to reach me, you could also reach me at iSlick for Twitter, and you can see the written version of this review at reviewsofultimateawesomeness.blogspot.com. So I'll talk to you guys and see you then.